What's up, guys? Ice about here. Welcome to the Diablo Research Institution. I'm your host, Professor Ice Stack. Appreciate you guys for coming by. Like the video if you will, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. So in this video, I have a Paladin. I wanted to compare the Holy Shock Paladin against the last video that I made, the Sorceress Holy Shock Sorceress. Alright? Now, the thing is, the Sorceress can utilize Thunderstorm because you might as well. You already maxed out Lightning Mastery and Static Field. So, you max out Thunderstorm and you have a fully synergized Thunderstorm. Granted, it only hits one target at a time, and it's not very fast, and it should be a hell of a lot faster between delays. But that's another issue, I suppose. So we are kind of comparing it to that. Now, with Lightning Mastery on the Sorceress that I was using, I had my lightning damage buffed by like 380%, which of course buffs the Holy Shock damage, the level 30 Holy Shock that you get with this build. So I don't have Lightning Mastery right now. But what I can do, because obviously I'm a Paladin, I can't have it, is you can max out Conviction. So instead of a Conviction that pierces Resist All by like 80%, which is a level 12 Conviction that you get from Infinity, you can rather max out Conviction, and in this case I have mine up to level 30, where I pierce it nearly twice as much at 150%. Pierce to resist all. Alright? That is fire, lightning, and cold. So, with that being said, I'm not quite sure how this is going to perform. Of course, with this build, you don't put anything into Holy Shock. Because here it is, I don't have a single point into it. What you do is you max out the synergies for it, so it boosts the aura you get from the gear. In which case, the synergies are Resist Lightning and Salvation. So according to my math, if you... And of course, with synergies, they only work with base points, not on skill gear points. So you basically have to times both of these numbers by 20. So if you max out Resist Lightning synergy, you get plus 240% lightning damage, according to Ice Boy's math. And then you max out the Salvation synergy, that's going to be 20 times 4, so you get 2, 4, 6, 80% lightning damage added. So combining the two together, you get plus 320% lightning damage. But the thing is, these numbers might be calculating differently because they're synergies as opposed to how they calculate when you have Lightning Mastery applied. Because I'm seeing quite a difference here in my lightning damage I have from Holy Shock on my weapon, on the Paladin here, compared to what I saw on the Sorceress. The Sorceress had like triple this at least. This guy's only doing 7 to 400 damage with the Holy Shock. So I'm thinking it calculates differently. Like the Lightning Mastery is applied to your overall maxed out Holy Shock damage. Whereas these ones, they're calculated differently, man. I'm thinking that's what we're dealing with here. But I don't really know that for a fact. So let's go to the Frigid Highlands. And let's see how well this fares against these guys. And I don't really know what the Holy Shock damage is. So we'll see what it does. In fact, oh my god! Holy shit! Okay. Maybe it doesn't calculate differently. Yeah, I don't know why my Sorceress is doing a ton of damage, like with her physical damage here. And this guy, I did put 1 point into Zeal. So, oh my god. Okay, this is hell. I had to double check. And yeah, you're going to do crazy damage. Well, not crazy damage in this case, but yeah, you're going to have some decent added damage if you actually utilize Zeal. And as mentioned, I put 1 point into Zeal. That's sufficient, because I'm really only caring about the lightning damage it adds. And the thing is, I am using Crescent Moon primarily for its negative 35% to enemy lightning res on it. And this thing comes with Ignore Target's Defense, which really helps against all the trash mobs. Also cast Chain Lightning on Striking, Static Field on Striking, which is quite nice. 20 IES, 220% Enhanced Damage Max, 25% chance of Open Wounds, 11 Magic Absorb, and 2 mana after each kill. Which I think I'm really going to need here. Oh my god. My mercenary just died. So maybe I could experiment some and have a mercenary, like an Act 3 one for example, that has the Holy Shock auras as well. But the problem is he's not going to be able to take advantage of the synergies that my guy has, but he will, however, take advantage of the Conviction aura here. So he's going to be doing far less damage with this Holy Shock, but still, the more the merrier as far as I see it. So I'm kind of curious. What I really wanted to do was go to Act 1 first. But that was, I think that was pretty damn decent how it performed in the Frigid Highlands. This might be the build to go with. I mean, this is chill. Oh my god! Look at that! Holy shit, look at the range! Yeah, this is a chill build. And there's other things I could do to enhance it, because I do have Enigma on right now. And I have a 4-socketed Dusk Shroud with 4 perfect light facets in it, which I have found do add to your on-gear aura in terms of the added damage, which I wasn't sure if they did that in my last video. So I want to try basically a 6-socketed Crystal Sword with all facets on my Sorceress, and it should perform significantly better, I think, compared to Crescent Moon. You'll be gaining plus 30% lightning damage, and you'll only be losing 5% lightning pierce. So it seems like quite a good trade-off. So let's see how well this performs in the Chaos Sanctuary. So I'll show you what I mean when I say the facets from gear actually do add to your on-gear Holy Shock aura that you get from Dream, alright? Right now, because of my strength problem, I can't have the the shield active right now. Maybe to keep things simple, I'll just take the shield off entirely. So as you can see here, I have 3,282 damage, because of course that's added lightning damage from the Holy Shock aura. Without that, I'm only doing 561 without the Holy Shock aura. So I'll pop that helm back on, and I don't have any armor on right now. So the armor I'm going to put on, it does add about 300 lightning damage, so we're going to see how much more damage it adds than that 300 lightning damage, which is going to be entirely then from the plus 20% to lightning skill damage. So as you can see here, it boosted it up to 4,800, let's say, from the 3,200. So it definitely adds to the damage. As expected, I just wasn't entirely sure. So let me make my way over to the Chaos Sanctuary, and we'll see how well this guy performs there. Okay, so here's the bugs. Oh my god! Yeah, this is pretty good, and this might be a good build to strive for, man. Like, I feel like I see it quite often in the comments. Things along the lines of, I've been working on my Auradin, or I almost have my Auradin complete. It's as if this is a character to strive for. Maybe because it's just so damn godly. Another reason why I think it has perhaps grown in popularity is because of the existence now of the Sunder Grand Charms, where you can now break all light immunities in the game, and then pierce it even more so with things like Conviction and Facets. Now, if you have Infinity on your Mercenary, after a lightning immunity is broken by your Sunder Charm, the Conviction on Infinity on your Mercenary is only 1/5 effectiveness. Now, I think the Conviction on your Paladin, for example, it's an actual skill that you're using and it's not on that weapon, Infinity. I think it's 100% effectiveness, but I'm not entirely sure of that. So perhaps more research is needed in that regard. Let me know if any of you guys have an answer to that. But here are some native light immunes. Okay, it kind of sucks against them, as expected, but look at this, shit's just dying around me. And this should be Players 1 difficulty. Let's take a look. Players 1. So to enhance this build even more, I'm not entirely sure if, say, I guess you just want offensive Grand Charms skillers to add to your Conviction Pierce, I suppose. Because your plus skill on gear doesn't add anything to the aura you get from your gear. I've tested it out, and you don't get, like, any damage, for example. Like, here's this Maras that I have on. And you're not going to see what should be +2 to Holy Shock, then, if it actually adds to my Holy Shock aura. Because I put this amulet on, and it does have 5 to all attributes, so I'm going to get about 20 or 30 damage from that. So let's see what it does. I'm at 7382, and now 7,401. So I gained like 19 damage or something like that, which is only coming from the strength that you get from the 5 to all attributes. So the all skills doesn't help it. So you're not going to benefit from an offensive aura Grand Charm in terms of it boosting your Holy Shock if you're not using the Holy Shock skill itself and you're getting it from your gear rather. But this ultimately is the better way to go, to my understanding, because you do get a 30 Holy Shock from these two items, which is a pretty decent number. And then in addition to that, you can max out its synergies that boost it, as well as maxing out Conviction. So let's see how well it fares against a couple more enemies here. I mean, it's not the greatest. I'd like to compare this to the Sorceress a bit more, because I was quite satisfied with the Sorceress, with the Holy Shock, the dual Dream items, and maxed out Lightning Mastery, along with the maxed out Thunderstorm. And you have a little bit more to work with after that. I mean, this is okay, but I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. So let me try it now. Oh, I can't put on that, unfortunately, because my my strength is glitched. It would be extremely expensive to have that armor. Those facets are very expensive. Now, that's not a jeweler's armor of the mammoth or whatever, which would be very expensive in itself. It's just a plain old four-socketed dust shroud for budget purposes. But 4 of those facets would be quite expensive, especially if they're perfect. So you do have that to deal with. But let me respec, and I'm going to add to all the same skills. I'm just going to give this guy a little bit more strength so he can go without Enigma for a minute. And see how this armor then compares to Enigma. Oh my god. So, check this out. How much damage I gain from wearing this Dusk Shroud. With Enigma, I'm at 7,400 damage, alright? With the Dusk Shroud, it goes up to 11,000. Are you kidding me? Okay. And I'll put the Conviction on. But now the problem, of course, is I don't have Teleport. But I do have Teleport on Switch with Naj's Staff. Alright, Naj's Puzzler. So maybe that's all I need. Let's see how well this fares now Alright, so here now I have conviction going on. What the hell? Does it seem that much different? That's odd. Oh my god. My zeal damage is definitely has been enhanced. But what we can't see, of course, is the Holy Shock aura damage, because we don't have anywhere to highlight that skill, because you get it from your gear. I can, of course, look at its weapon damage, but those are very different numbers. The damage it adds to your weapon compared to its aura damage. So maybe it's gaining like 1,000 aura damage or something, or maybe more. I mean, as we can see here, it's gaining about 3,000 weapon damage. So maybe it's just not all that significant. In which case, perhaps you still want to wear Enigma, even though you do get an additional 20% lightning pierce. But then again, we might be maxed out on that, come to think of it, because we're piercing their lightning res already by 150%, plus the pierce you get from the weapon. This is not counting, that's not counting conviction right there, so I'm at negative 55% enemy lightning res. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm liking the Enigma more. So let's try out that just a bit more. I mean, you run faster as well. Has some nice stats on it. But to be completely optimal, you would want to go the other route, I assume. So I'm thinking I'd like to try the Sorceress again, only with a bunch of Lightning Grand Charms, because you're going to be adding to Lightning Mastery with every Grand Charm, which might be more beneficial than just the little boosts you get adding to Conviction every level, at this point at least, where you're already piercing it by 150% per every offensive point that you have from the Grand Charm. So I'm thinking in the next video I'd like to try the Sorceress again. Here we go against Diablo. And last of all, I'll try out the cows. Shitty boots. Only they would make this set decent. Here's the dual part bonus is only 150 defense, so complete ass. But let's try out the cow level. Welcome back to the research institution. So we will now go and slay some heifers. And I'm not expecting too much because they have quite a bit of HP. But that's not bad. Oh my god, the damage ticks are horrible. They take forever. Let's see what the sword is. Oh, 6 socket. Hell yeah. Mercenary, by the way, is wearing Treachery, Andy's Visage, Ethereal with Ral, and Reaper's Toll, Ethereal with a Shell. Oh my god! Pretty damn impressive. And what's also interesting about this build is I still have 27 skill points remaining. So really, you could potentially be a Fist of the Heavens hybrid. You won't be able to max out its synergy all the way. I'd go for the Holy Bolt synergy, because you're already doing a ton of lightning damage, and the lightning damage from FOH is only single target anyway. So I'd rather be more of a hybrid build, whereas Fist of the Heavens would be doing mostly holy damage. And then couple that with all this lightning damage that I'm doing from both Zeal and the Holy Shock Aura. So that's something I wouldn't mind trying with this. But in terms of the gear, I don't have anything special on here. I have Laying of Hands gloves. I have a Raven Frost for the Cannot Be Frozen. I decided to put on an ARAC for the FCR, so I can teleport a bit faster, but I probably wouldn't go ARAC. Probably something like String of Ears with this build. Maybe T-Gods, but I'm thinking String of Ears is what I'd do. Stone of Jordan, I just wanted some extra mana. Apparently I don't need it much. And Ethereal Sandstorm Tracks. And as seen already, the Dream Shield and the Dream Helm, Crescent Moon, Phase Blade, Enigma, and Maros. And I do have a Sunder Charm, and a Paladin Torch, and an Annie. Yep! So, what do you guys think about this build? Is this something that you'd want to strive for? In the scheme of things, how expensive is it? You need 2 Jaws to make the Dreams. Other than that, you just need an Io and a Pull for each, which are quite attainable. If you want to have the convenience, you'd make an Enigma. But as seen, you can do this without the Enigma. I mean, I'll take it off right now. And I'm sure it's still going to be relatively effective. You're not missing out on too much, other than just the teleport. The 2-to-all skills is nice, but it's not helping your Holy Aura from the gear, the Holy Shock Aura. Barely gaining anything, that's primarily from just the strength. In fact, I think that's entirely from the strength bonus. The damage there. It's not doing anything for your lightning damage. The Enigma. Not when, it's boosting up your conviction just a little tiny bit. This is at 150 with it. And it's at 150. Oh. So, yeah, I was worried about that. That it is maxed out. It looks like it stays at 150 Pierce and it doesn't go any higher than that. Does it gain yards? 13.3 yards, regardless, 94%. It looks like it's not gaining anything from 2 levels, unfortunately. So, Enigma, in terms of offense, it's not helping at all with this build, so that's pretty much just the icing on the cake for teleport and run walk, is what you get out of the Enigma on this build. So you really don't need it. And you could even have a Najazon switch and maybe have something more defensive equipped to you. I mean, you could have like a Fortitude or a Chains of Honor if you want to try to boost up your physical damage a little bit. There's a nice 3-socketed Phase Blade. Yeah, it's not doing too much for it, so that's pretty much the gear. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. What sort of modifications do you think I should make on this build? Let me know in the comments. And how do you think it compares to the Holy Shock Sorceress? I'll talk to y'all later. Peace be with you.